Hi dear friends, welcome back to Best Value Hub online classes. Today we are going to study a very new topic from the session polynomials, and at the same time this is going to be the very last topic. And this is one of the most important areas because you are going to get a 4-mark question in your board examinations from this session. Okay, what's the name you can see here? Division algorithm of polynomials. Okay, definitely this is a very long sentence, but the thing you are going to study right now is a very simple thing. Okay, and the basics of this session you have actually already learned from your 9th grade. There you studied, I am not sure if you remember it or not. Anyways, you try to recollect what you have studied, how to divide a polynomial with another polynomial. Do you remember? Anyways, if you can't remember, forget it. We'll see. Okay, so before going into the division algorithm or division procedure of polynomials, we are going to recollect what we studied by the division of the numbers. You have studied the division of numbers using the long division method, right? Means very simple. I am asking you to divide a number 15, okay, with 2. It's a very simple thing, right? How will you divide? You are going to see how many times 2 you can get from 15. How many times you will get? You know that 7 times, right? Because 7 into 2, I know it is 14 only. So there will be what? A remainder, right? If you know this thing, my dear friend, your 50% of mark is saved there. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to extend this idea for the polynomials. That's all. Because in the case of polynomials, you will be having expressions. Okay. You remember P of X, all these things. Okay. So that polynomial, that concept, we are going to write instead of numbers. Then your answer is over. Okay, what I'm going to say, instead of this 15, I am going to write P of X. Okay, means there will be a polynomial, okay, that you have to divide with another polynomial. There is a number 2 here, right? Instead of number, you will have another polynomial, and generally we call it as what? G of X. Okay, you know what is the meaning of G of X? Means that is a polynomial itself, and this will be in the variable what? X. Okay, P of X means that is another polynomial in X. So you have been given one polynomial, okay, that you have to divide with another polynomial. So definitely finally what will happen? You will get an answer. Okay, you will get a quotient, right? That polynomial we call it as Q of X. Okay, anyways, after doing all these procedures, means you will be having some procedures here that we will learn anyways. So finally, sometimes you will get a remainder like this, okay, and that will be again a polynomial, and that we call it as what? R of X. This thing we learned in the case of numbers will be extending for the case of what? Polynomials. And we are going to give some names of it. And you know the naming anyways. What is this 15? We call it as what? Dividend. Okay. This is your divisor. This will be your remainder. And what is this 7? This is, yes, exactly, that is your quotient. Okay. So in the case of polynomials also, you will get all these things. Means your P of X is your dividend polynomial. Okay. The polynomial with which you are going to divide is called the G of X, or that is your divisor polynomial, and the answer we are going to get, we call it as Q, quotient Q of X. Okay. Why we are mentioning all these x, because this will be an expression containing x. That's the only reason. Okay. And finally the answer, sorry, the remainder, we call it as remainder R of X. Okay. Now here in the case of numbers, I can write this 15, okay, means your dividend is equal to what? Quotient 7 into your divisor 2 plus what? Your remainder. Am I right? How much is 7 into 2? 14. 14 plus 1 is equal to 15. Yes, 15. That was your dividend. The same thing extend here in the case of polynomials, means I can say instead of 15 I have your P of X. So this polynomial P of X will be equal to what? 7. 7 is your quotient. So quotient means Q of X multiplied by divisor polynomial, that is your g of x, plus what is the remainder? R of x. Okay, that's all. This is your division algorithm for polynomials. So look at the very first question. Divide 2x square plus 3x plus 1 by x plus 2. Means you have to divide a polynomial by another polynomial. This polynomial is in fact a linear polynomial, and this type of question you have already learned in the 9th grade. So we can treat this question as a simple recollection. Anyways, I know that the polynomial you are going to divide is p of x. Okay, we have written an expression, you remember, p of x equal to q of x into g of x plus r of x, right? So what will be your p of x? That is 2x square plus 3x plus 1 will be your p of x, and the polynomial with which you are going to divide is called your g of x, which is your divisor. So what will be happening here when you divide the polynomial with another polynomial? It's very simple. Anyways, the degree of your p of x, what is the degree here? 2. And the degree of your g of x, when you compare, you can see that the degree of the p of x will be always greater. Okay, the degree here it is 2 and the degree here it is how much? 1. Anyways, what will happen? I am going to write something here, a quotient I am going to write there. That quotient we are going to multiply here, and you will be writing so many things here, and you will put an underline and you will subtract something, and you will proceed like that. As we have written 15 divided by 2, 7 into 2, 14. Then I'll subtract this 14, I'll subtract from 15 like that, and I'm getting the answer as what? 1. The same thing we are going to do here, but you have to keep in mind, when we move from one step to another step, there should be a point that the term containing the highest exponent should disappear when we move from one step to another step. Okay, for this particular expression, what is the highest term? It is 2x square. I mean, the term containing the highest exponent, that term is how much? 2x square. So when we move from this step to another step, or the second step, this term should what? Disappear. So what should be your quotient to be introduced here so that this will disappear? It means, in other words, I can say I am going to subtract, right? So subtracting means it should be 2x square here. Then only when I subtract 2x square and 2x square, I'll get what? 0. 0 means this term has what? Disappeared, right? So to get a 2x square here, what should be written at the quotient place? That is the thing you have to think. You understand? So I have to get a 2x square here. I have already one x here. So what should I write here? It should be what? 2x. Am I right? Means 2x, when I multiply with x, definitely I'll get a 2x square here. Okay, it means when we move to the another step, when we subtract this 2x square and 2x square, definitely I'll get 0. This is the only common sense we have to keep in mind. Okay, but at the same time, don't forget to multiply your quotient with the second term. If there are 3 terms, okay, you have to multiply with your quotient with all the terms, rest of the terms. Okay, because you simply multiply 2x and x. Okay, I have written here as 2x square, but there is a 2 or plus 2 here. So I have to multiply this 2x with this 2 as well. So how much you will get? 2x into 2, I will get as 4x. Okay, don't forget that step. So I know when we subtract 2x square and 2x square, okay, that is disappeared, 0. So I have to subtract 3x and 4x. 3x minus 4x, okay, this will become what? A minus operation. You are subtracting, right? So 3x and 4x, 3x minus 4x, how much it is? As I told you before, these are like terms. Anyways, like terms only you can combine, or you can subtract, or you can add. So when we subtract 3x and 4x, what we have to do, as I told you before, in the answer anyways, you will get the same variable as it is. Okay, and you have to operate the coefficients. What is the coefficient here? 3. What is the coefficient here? -4. So you have to operate the coefficient 3 and -4. How much is 3 minus 4? -1. And that -1 you have to write along with the variable x. Okay, so we won't write -1x, we will simply write it as -x. Okay, so when we subtract, I'll get a -x here. There is a +1 over there, there is nothing to subtract from that, so it will be +1 only. Okay, and you don't have to write a 0 here. Okay, now what is the term here? -x plus 1. So what is the term containing the highest exponent? In this case it is how much? X. So as I told you before, when we move from this step to the other step, definitely what should happen? The term containing the highest exponent should disappear, means this -x should disappear when we move from this step to another step. It means disappearing means if there is a -x here, then definitely I should write a -x here. Then only when we subtract, it should what? Disappear. So if you want to write a -x over here, what should I have to write here? Okay, and I have to multiply with x. What will be that number? I have to multiply, there is something going to come here. That thing I have to multiply with the x such that I'll get how much? -x. So what should be that number or variable? It should be -1. Because -1 when I multiply with the positive x, definitely I'll get what? A -x. Okay, and as I told you, don't forget I have to multiply this -1 with the what? A -2. -1 multiplied with the +2, you will get how much? -2. Am I right? Now you just move from this step to another step, means you just subtract the terms, like terms. -x, you have to subtract -x, means -x subtracting -x. So minus and minus becomes what? Positive. I have a -x and I have a +x. They are like terms. So what I have to do, as I told you before, what is the coefficient here? -1. What is the coefficient here? It is +1. So -1 and +1 is what? 0. Am I right? So it will disappear anyways. So 0x will be the answer. 0x means 0 only. So it means, as I told you, this will disappear definitely. So this is gone. So what is here? 1 minus -2. See here itself, if you want, you can write the operation. Means the final operation, what is going to happen? Means 1 minus -2 means what? Addition is going to happen. So that addition I am writing here. So what I'll do? This 1 and 2 I will add. It becomes 3. So this is the final answer. Means you have a polynomial p of x here. You are dividing this p of x with the g of x. And what is your quotient polynomial? It is 2x minus 1. Okay, and what is your remainder polynomial? It is 3. Sometimes you may think, sir, this is not a polynomial, this is simply a number. But I'll say this is again a polynomial because we have learned the constant polynomial. What is a constant polynomial? P of x equal to 5, P of x equal to 3, P of x equal to 2. All these polynomials are called constant polynomials. So if I am writing a number or you are getting an answer as a simple digit here, don't think that this is not a polynomial. Again, you can call it as a polynomial, which is a constant polynomial. Okay, just keep in mind, that's all. Now look at the second question. You have to divide a polynomial p of x, x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 3 by another polynomial. Okay, they are giving as a g of x equal to what? X square minus 2. You have to divide, means you have to divide and you have to find out what is the quotient polynomial and you have to write what is the remainder polynomial. Okay, let's begin, but at the same time I want all of you to try the problem, okay, along with me. So I'm writing what is p of x. Okay, so what will be your g of x? What is given as x square minus 2. So what is the point I told you? When we move from one step to another step, what should happen? The term containing the highest exponent should disappear. It means from moving from step 1 to step 2, this x cube should not be there. Okay, so it means if there is x cube, definitely this term should also be what? X cube. So I want to get x cube. What is the largest or highest term, or the term containing the highest exponent? Here it is what? X square. So what should I write here? To get an x cube here, I should write what? X. Why? Because this x, when I multiply it with the x square, I will definitely get what? X cube, right? So x into x square is x cube. As I told you, don't forget what? X I have to multiply with what? Minus 2 as well. So when I multiply x with minus 2, I'll get how much? Minus 2x. So where should I write that minus 2x? Okay, I'm not supposed to write here as minus 2x, because after writing this step, definitely we are going to subtract. Subtracting or adding is actually possible only between the like terms. This is minus 3x square and this is minus 2x. Do you think they are like terms? No. It means you are not supposed to write here. Where should you write? You have to write just below this term, minus 2x. Are you getting the point? Anyways, what you have to do, as I told you, when we move from this step to another step or the second step, what will happen? X cube minus x cube, anyways it should disappear. It's disappeared. Then what is there? Minus 3x square is there. I have nothing here to subtract. It means this will come here again as what? Minus 3x square. So I have a plus 5x here. I am subtracting 5 minus minus 2 means it becomes what? Addition, right? Means 5 minus minus 2, it becomes addition. That is what I have written here. So in fact, finally you have to do which operation? Addition operation. Means 5 and 2 you just add, you will get how much? 7. So is it positive 7? And what is the variable? X. Okay, then what is left here? Minus 3. Okay, minus 3 I am writing as it is. Now as I asked you, minus 3x square plus 7x minus 3. So what is the term containing the highest exponent? It is minus 3x square here. It means when we move from this step to the other step, what should happen? This minus 3x square should disappear. It means I should have to write here as minus 3x square, right? So in order to get a minus 3x square over here, what should I write at the place of what? Quotient. So just think what will happen, or what we have to write here. I have to get a minus 3x square. Already what is there? X square is already there. It means there should be a minus 3. Am I right? It means when you multiply minus 3 with x square, minus 3 with x square, definitely you will get what? Minus 3x square. Am I right? Yes. So as I told you, don't forget, you have to multiply the term minus 3 with what? The second term in the divisor. Minus 3 you are going to multiply with what? Minus 2. Minus 3 multiplied by minus 2 becomes plus 6. And where should I write? I should write just below the constant term, because this is a 7x. 7x and 6 are not like terms. So you have to write this 6 or plus 6 just below the constant term. Okay. So as I told you before, when you subtract this minus 3x square and minus 3x square, definitely it will disappear. Okay, if you want you can check. What is the coefficient here? Minus 3. You have to subtract. How much you have to subtract? Again, minus 3 you have to subtract. Okay, this minus and minus becomes plus. So minus 3 plus 3, it will become what? 0. Definitely you will get, my dear friend, you will get 0 here. That is the reason we are thinking, or we are writing here something, a new term. Okay, so anyways, minus 3x square here. So this is 0. So I have nothing to subtract from 7x. It means 7x will come here as 7x only. So I have a minus 3. See, minus 3 minus 6. It becomes what? Subtraction operation. Am I right? Means minus 3 I have over there. I have to subtract what? 6. Means plus 6 means 6 only I have to subtract. So minus 3 minus 6, what will be your answer? What will be your answer? Okay, it becomes minus 9. Why it is minus 9? As I told you in the very first basic mathematics class, I told you clearly, minus 3 and minus 6 means you are adding or you are operating two numbers with the same sign. See, what is the sign of 3? Negative. What is the sign of 6? That is also negative. So if you are operating numbers with the same sign, what you have to do? Add the digits. What is the digit here? 3. What is the digit here? 6. You have to add 3 and 6. You will get how much? 9 you will get. and what is the common sign? It is negative, no? That sign you have to give here. So it becomes minus 9. Okay, that is why you are getting as minus 9. Your answer is over. Okay, why it is over you can say? Because what is the exponent here? 1. And what is the exponent here in the divisor? What is the exponent? It is 2. Means always the exponent or the degree of the remainder will be less than the remainder, less than the exponent of the divisor. That is the only thing. Okay, so your answer is over. It means finally your quotient will be how much? Q of x. Q of x is equal to how much? X minus 3, and your R of x becomes how much? 7x minus 9. This is the final answer. Okay, so just keep in mind what is happening when we move from one step to another step. Okay, that is the only thing you have to understand. Then everything will be easy, because if you know what you have to write here, then you should get what you have to write the place of quotient. Okay, it's very simple. Look at the third question. This is actually a bit different question. We have done actually 2 types of problems so far, and this is the third type of problem, and you can get the extra questions from the textbook in the very last exercise. Okay, and you have to practice with more questions. And anyways, in the next session we'll be doing some more extra problems which were normally asked in the examinations. Before that, I want all of you to open your textbook, get more questions and try to do it. Okay, if you have any doubts or clarifications needed, definitely you can come back to us. Anyways, on dividing a polynomial x cube minus 3x square plus 2, x plus 2, okay, so you have to divide a polynomial by another polynomial g of x. So they are not mentioning what is that particular polynomial. They are simply saying there is a polynomial g of x. So we don't know what is that g of x. And what is the next sentence they are saying? The quotient and the remainder were x minus 2 and minus 2x plus 4. It means in that particular thing they are giving you what is the quotient and what is the remainder. Everything is given to you except what? The divisor. And you have to find what is that particular divisor. Okay, in this type of question, what you have to do, we have actually written an expression at the beginning. Do you remember that? It is P of x equal to Q of x into G of x plus what? R of x. Okay, this is a formula or expression we are going to use these type of problems. Okay, as I told you, this is a normal thing. As you, if you want, you can remember all these things for the example. With the example you have written, okay, P of x or the dividend is equal to quotient into the divisor plus the remainder. Okay, anyways, P of x equals Q of x into G of x plus R of x. So except your G of x, everything is given in the question. So just substitute it. Okay, what is the question, or what is your P of x? P of x is x cube minus 3x square plus x plus 2 equal to, okay, because instead of P of x I am writing the polynomial given to me. Okay, I have written here Q of x. Is Q of x given to us? Yes, definitely this is your Q of x, because the quotient is x minus 2. So I am writing it as x minus 2. G of x is not given, so I can't write at this moment. So I am writing as G of x, then plus what is your R of x? R of x is given as minus 2x plus 4. I am writing as it is. So they are asking you what is your G of x. See, these type of things you know very well, because we have done so many problems from the algebra. You remember, suppose I am writing 3x, not x. If I am writing x again, you will be getting confused. Suppose I have a variable 3z plus 4 equal to 12. I am asking what is z. What you will do? First I will keep the term containing z here. I will take this 4 to the other side, and step by step we will simplify, right? The same concept you have to use here. Means what you have to calculate? I have to calculate G of x. Means what is the complete thing containing your G of x? This is the complete thing, right? Okay, what I will do, I will keep the complete thing here and I'll take the other terms to the LHS side. Okay, so the thing is that I have to take this minus 2x to the other side and this plus 4 to the other side. Other side means your left hand side. So there is something already in the left hand side. I am writing as it is x cube minus 3x square plus x plus 2. So minus 2x I am taking here. So this minus becomes plus 2x. Okay, because it becomes addition. That is why plus 2x. There is a plus 4 or addition of 4 here. When we take to the other side, it becomes subtraction. Okay, so I am writing x minus 2 into g of x as it is. Okay, so here if you have any like terms, that you have to simplify now. What is there any like term? Yes, plus x and plus 2x, they are like terms because x is the variable, exponent is here 1, here also exponent 1. They are like terms, and don't think that this 2x or x cube or x square, they are not like terms. Okay, anyways, I have to combine them. So x cube is x cube only, minus 3x square, there is nothing to combine with them. So plus x plus 2x. What is the coefficient here? 1. What is the coefficient here? 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3x. That will be the answer here. So I have another like term which is plus 2 and minus 4. So 2 minus 4 is how much? Minus 2. So equals x minus 2 multiplied by what? G of x. Right? Now what I have to do? I want to calculate g of x. So what is left along with your g of x, that you have to take from RHS side to the LHS side. So what is left here? X minus 2. What is the operation between this x minus 2 and g of x? That is a multiplication, means x minus 2 multiplied by g of x, right? So when I take this x minus 2 to the other side, it becomes what? Division, right? So what I am going to write, x cube minus 3x square plus 3x minus 2 is already here on the left hand side. When I take this x minus 2, it becomes what? Division. X minus 2 equal to what? G of x. So finally, what is the meaning of the statement? Final statement we have written means, if you want to calculate your g of x, this is the polynomial you have to calculate. Okay, if you want to calculate, what you have to do? You have to divide a particular polynomial with another polynomial. Means at this stage you have to follow the long division method. Means you are writing like that. You have to divide a particular polynomial with another polynomial. So here at this stage you have to follow what? Long division. Okay, so we'll proceed with the long division right now. Before that, you just copy all these things, but try to understand and copy. So what we have to do right now, we have to divide x cube minus 3x square plus 3x minus 2 with what? X minus 2, what? In order to get what? Your required polynomial g of x. Okay, so what you have to do, as I told you before, here the term containing the highest exponent is x cube, here it is x. So means I have to write x cube here, then only this will disappear when we move to the other step. Okay, so I have to get an x cube here. Already one x is here, so what should I write here? It should be x square, am I right? X square into x becomes what? Okay, fine, it's x cube. At the same time, I have to multiply x square with the minus 2. Okay, the sign is very important. Minus 2 into x square minus 2x square. And where should I write? Here only I have to write, because this is the like term with the minus 2x square. So when you subtract, as I told you, when you subtract, okay, this is going to be equal to 0. This is minus 3. Minus 3 subtraction, how much? Minus 2. So minus 3 minus minus 2 becomes what? Addition. Okay, if you want, if you have any confusion, you can write on this left hand side, minus 3 minus minus 2, it becomes minus of minus plus. That is what finally I have written here. So what is minus 3 plus 2? Minus 3 plus 2 becomes minus 1. Exactly, you are adding two numbers with the different signs. What you have to do, different sign means you have to find the what? Difference of the digits. 3 and 2, what is the difference? 1. And what is the sign of the larger number? So larger number is 3. So what is the sign? Minus. Your answer becomes minus 1. So minus, since it is minus 1, we won't write 1. We will put simply your minus, and what is the variable? You have to write it as x square only. Okay, because this is the variable x square. So in the answer also it should be there, minus x square. So plus 3x minus 2, because nothing is here to subtract, so the answer will be like that. Okay. Anyways, minus x square is here. So as I told you, when you write here, this should disappear when we move to the other step. So what I have to write, it should be minus x square I should write here. So in order to get this minus x square, what should I write here to multiply with the x? It should be how much? I have to get an minus x square. I have already an x here. It means I should write a minus x. Okay, if you have any doubt, you just try minus x into plus x. It becomes minus x square, right? And minus x I have to multiply with the minus 2. So minus into minus become plus, and 2 into x, 2x. So this becomes plus 2x. Am I right? Okay. Now when we subtract, okay, this is going to be equal to 0. Leave it. This is 3x and 2x you are going to subtract. Okay, this is addition only because 3 plus 3 minus plus 2. It becomes minus only. Okay, 3x minus 2x is how much? 1x, but we won't write that 1. And what is here? Minus 2. Okay, see, this is x minus 2. As I asked you, what is the term containing the highest exponent? X. Okay, when we move to the other step, this should disappear, means x should disappear. It means x should come here. What is here? X. I should get an x here. I have an x here, means what should I write? It should be plus 1. It means when I multiply this plus 1 with x, you will get what? Plus x. Am I right? So 1 into x is x. Okay, no problem. At the same time, I have to multiply 1 with the what? Minus 2. 1 into minus 2 is how much? Minus 2. Okay, so when you subtract 0, this is also 0. Means you are subtracting x minus 2 and x minus 2. Definitely this will be 0. So what is the meaning actually? When you divide this particular polynomial with the x minus 2, you are getting an answer, no? That answer will be the thing they are asking in the question. Means there is a g of x asked in the question, no? So what is that g of x? This is your g of x. Okay, don't get confused. This idea you have to keep in mind and try 1 or 2 extra problems, then everything will be clear. Okay, in the next session we'll be doing some more problems from the same session, but before that just practice it and we'll come back soon.